welcome to another episode of LDN Capital TV. On today's show, we'll finally get to see a rematch between Mike Mendoza and Jon Ritchie for the British Championship. Mike Mendoza, after suffering a concussion during the previous title match because of an illegal knockout from Jon Ritchie, has medical clearance to wrestle and gets another shot at the title tonight.
This is London.
Welcome once again to another episode of LDN TV. My name is Mr. TV, Jon Ritchie, and we are seeing here tonight the debut of a tag team, Hype and Chris Wyld, led to the ring by the life coach, John, David, Bernard, Bruno Chapman. We saw Chapman, of course, last week here on Capital TV, leading one of his latest charges jet into yet another defeat. Will things go the same way for the newly formed team of Chris Wyld and Hype? That remains to be seen. Now, of course, Chris Wyld's bodyguard, my former bodyguard, Big Jack. Well, there's Hype, one member of the Welsh Assembly. He is teaming up with a man that I used to manage, Chris Wyld. Wyld now, of course, managed by the life coach. And will you take a look at that? John Chapman picking a fight with the ringside fans and then shielding himself from their blows with his wrestler Chris Wyld. And wrestling fans, if you have ever seen a human being who resembles a gerbil any more than John Chapman, I'd like to meet him.
Their opponents at a total combined weight of 28 stone, from Aylesbury, Danny Williams, and from Loughborough, Simon Can.
Chris Wyld and Hype taking on the new team of Simon Can and Danny Williams. Two youngsters fairly new to LDN, but with a cracking attitude. These guys have worked so hard to get their shot here tonight. And you had better believe they want to make the most of it. And we caught up with John Chapman earlier in the afternoon, and I've got a very strong suspicion he was taking these guys lightly. He claimed never to have heard of Simon Can and Danny Williams. Will he be saying that at the end of this matchup? We will find out. Chapman edging ever closer to a nervous breakdown. Chris Wyld and Hype mesh as a team. Two individuals that don't seem to have a huge amount in common. And thank goodness for Big Jack, that's all I can see. That's all I can say. Very mellow individual, but trust me, you do not want to get on his wrong side. Chris Wyld on your left, Ricky Hype on the right. Neither man particularly popular here in LDN. Even less so since aligning themselves with the life coach. Oh no! Classic mistake there, Simon Cann and Danny Williams made. They turned their back on their opponents, something you should never do, particularly when your opponents are Ricky Hype and Chris Wyld. Nonetheless, they ducked the clotheslines and hit a beautiful pair of drop kicks in stereo to take out Wyld and Hype. Can they follow it up with anything special? Both men to the outside. Well, so far I like what I see of these two youngsters. They might be letting their youthful exuberance get the better of them a little bit, but they are not backing down from the much larger and more experienced Wyld and Hype. Straight over the top rope. Incredible. And Chris Wyld, a man who I led to many victories in my time, is down and out on the ringside area, struggling back up to his feet. And John Chapman nowhere near his man. Well, referee Chris Roberts rightly needs to get this one under control. And this promises to be a cracking episode of Capital TV here tonight. Later on in the hour, we will also see the LDN British Championship defended as Jon Ritchie puts the belt on the line for a second time against Mike Mendoza. Mendoza was the number one contender to the championship for many, many months here in LDN. He finally got that shot recently on Capital TV. But Jon Ritchie intentionally got himself disqualified and damn near gave Mike Mendoza a concussion in the process. And tonight, Mendoza gets the chance for a rematch and a second shot at that championship. But let's not look past this one, which is promising, which is shaping up to be a classic matchup. Ricky Hype there. Up and over. And this is a very solid tag team encounter. And Chris Wyld is sent sprawling to the outside through the middle rope. And Simon Cann and Danny Williams now grabbing an arm each of Ricky Hype. Up and over. No one knows much about Cann and Williams, but they are doing very, very well indeed against the more experienced and larger combination of Chris Wyld and Ricky Hype. But you know, individually, Ricky Hype and Chris Wyld might be more experienced. But as I said, they have never actually teamed together before, and maybe that might be what would hold them back. Two men with very big egos indeed, rightly so many times. But can they coexist? Well, Hype tags in Wyld there. Comes off the top turnbuckle. Lovely spinning suplex. And a nice leg drop to boot. And Wyld doing very well indeed. Nice bridge into a cover. Just a 2 count there. And Wyld getting a little bit frustrated that he wasn't able to put the man away. Another tag there, Ricky Hype now the legal man. Wyld with the abdominal stretch. And Ricky Hype just choking out his opponent with the Welsh flag, while the referee is distracted in the opposite end of the ring. Well, I was worried about how the two guys would mesh as a team, but so far Hype and Wyld not doing too badly at all, thank you very much. Hype with a float over into a cover, pulls his opponent up after just a 1 count. Almost as if he doesn't want to win quite yet. He wants to hurt his opponent even more. Hype comes off the rope, and a big soccer-like kick to the back and to the face. Oh, and to the unmentionables. And again, another arrogant cover. And Wyld and Hype and Chapman there with a double or triple team. And they've got the briefcase. They have got the briefcase. And Ricky Hype looks like he might have been more at home playing centre forward for West Ham United. Chris Wyld there with a big over-the-top suplex. Rolls over into a cover, and that should be all, but it's not. Cannon Williams showing an awful lot of guts. Wyld with another cover, and again another kick out. And maybe the arrogance of Hype and Wyld will get the better of them. A couple of times they've had the opportunity to put their opponents away, and they haven't taken it. They have arrogantly broken the pinfalls themselves in order to continue laying on the punishment. They just seem to be having a lot of fun beating these guys up. Jon Chapman on the outside, dividing his attention between the in-ring action and the fans on the outside. And he's going to need to commit one way or the other. I can tell you with first-hand experience as a former manager myself that you need to give 100% of your attention to your man or men in the ring. Double chop there from Chris Wyld. And Hype and Wyld really dominating this one now. But maybe not for much longer. Maybe not for much longer. A flurry of offense, but it's cut off with a kick to the midsection from Chris Wyld, who picks up his opponent, and he is looking for that devastating power slam. And there it is. And that could be all. That could be all. But again, Wyld wants to carry on, laying down the punishment. He tags in Ricky Hype. And Hype with another big kick to the face. And Wyld going up top. And a dropkick assisted powerbomb from the top rope. There's the cover, that could be all, but no. It was broken up at the last possible second. And Simon Cannon and Danny Williams, against all the odds, are still just in this matchup. As I said, Chris Wyld and Ricky Hype, they could have had this one won by now if they'd wanted to. Personally, I blame Chapman for the lack of focus. And now they're finding themselves in all kinds of trouble. But a double team maneuver. Who's going to get the worst of it? It looks like Chris Wyld and Ricky Hype. Neither man came out of that very well. And he's going to go up top. He is going up top. And he comes off with a beautiful moonsault. But there's no one at home. Chris Wyld, thank goodness, was out of the way. And that was a high-risk maneuver that did not pay off. A picture-perfect moonsault. But he found nothing but canvas. Well, hang on a second. Jack just tripped up his own man by accident, I think, there. Jack doesn't realise what he's done. And Chris Wyld's in trouble. Chris Wyld is shocked. A super kick into the bridge. Here's the cover. And a three. A three count. I don't believe it. On their LDN debut, Simon Can and Danny Williams have just pulled off a massive upset. They have just pulled off a massive upset. Simon Can and Danny Williams have just beat Chris Wyld and Ricky Hype. 1, 2, 3, right in the middle of the ring. It was basically 4 on 2. Chris Wyld, Ricky Hype, Jon Chapman, and of course Big Jack. And now Chapman's found himself where he doesn't want to be. And he asked for this. That chap would be more comfortable being a chartered accountant, I think. And he has been debagged. He has been debagged here at LDN. And thank goodness Jack Chan are getting him out of the ring before he can suffer any further humiliation. Get the man out, please. I've seen enough of that. Well, many congratulations to Simon Can and Danny Williams. A big win and a big upset here on their LDN Capital TV debut. And a humiliating night out for the life coach, Jon Chapman. Coming up next, the LDN Championship is on the line as Jon Ritchie defends in a rematch against Mike Mendoza.
This is London. This is London.
Hello and welcome to the London Eye with me, Fiona Fox. Last week on LDN Capital TV, we saw the shock crowning of new British tag champions Jamie James and Chris Botherway, otherwise known as Hot Property. Hot Property scored the controversial victory when one member of Project Future was pinned despite having his foot on the lower rope. Having a foot on the lower rope would usually cause a pinfall to be broken. However, the referee missed this and went on to award the victory to Hot Property. LDN management have sent the following press release. We at LDN are sorry the recent mistake in officiating took place. LDN are dedicated to enforcing the rules, however occasionally, despite the high level of training, mistakes do happen. Despite the controversial nature of this victory, a referee's decision is final in all cases and therefore Hot Property will remain champions. However, in light of this title change, LDN management have decided that Hot Property must defend the British Tag Championship at their earliest convenience. This has been me, Fiona Fox, bringing you the London Eye. See you next week.
You sure you're ready?
Yes, fans, it is main event time here on tonight's edition of LDN Capital TV, a Spirit Rules matchup for the LDN British Championship. And there is your challenger, Mike Mendoza. And Mendoza just looks so pumped up, he is really ready for this one. It is actually his second shot at the championship. He received his first as the #1 contender a couple of weeks ago here on Capital TV. And that match did not end in the best possible way for Mendoza. He won the match as a result of a disqualification, but he very nearly suffered a concussion in the process. Now here tonight, he is taking on the British champion, the notorious hard man from the East End of London, Jon Ritchie. And will you have a look at who is with Jon Ritchie here tonight? That, if I am not mistaken, is humongous. We saw him make a very impressive debut just 2 weeks ago here on Capital TV. And he made a real impact. And he has wasted no time in aligning himself with the notorious Jon Ritchie.
You don't wait to be given, you take.
And look at who else is there.
Now bring it on!
A former World of Sport legend and indeed the father of Jon Ritchie, Jon Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the LDN Championship and Belt. A match made over spirit rules with 6 3-minute rounds, 2 falls, 2 submissions or a knockout to decide the winner. Introducing first on my left, hailing from Elton in southeast London, coming to the ring weighing in at 17 stone 2 pounds, Mike Mendoza.
There he is, very popular youngster in LDN.
His opponent is accompanied to the ring by humongous and former World of Sport great, the former British lightweight wrestling champion, Jon Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've come here tonight to support my son, Jon Ritchie, who's been trained by me and by other famous wrestlers. We have this person here in this ring, Mendoza. He couldn't wrestle when he first started, he couldn't wrestle 6 months later, and he still cannot wrestle. He's come here under false pretension, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the referee is up to standard.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're representing from the East End of London. Coming into the ring weighing in at 14.5 stone, he is the LDN British champion, the notorious Mr. Jon Ritchie.
Well, there he is, there's your champion. And why on earth is Humongous out there with him? Indeed, why is Jon Hall there? I'm not certain, but I'm not convinced that either of them have an official manager's license. But as long as they don't physically interject themselves into the matchup, then I suppose all is fair. But fans, this is going to be a fantastic... Hang on a second. Will you take a look at the bottom left-hand corner of your screens? I think you can see very clearly Jon Ritchie fiddling with the turnbuckle cover. Out of sight of the referee, no surprise there. We need to get Jon Hall out of the ring quickly. Well, fans, Jon Ritchie is very blatantly attempting to adjust or remove that turnbuckle pad, or at least loosen it. And let's hope that doesn't come into play later in the contest. This should be a cracking main event, fans.
This is London. This is London.
So fans, the bell rings and this one is underway. It is a Spirit Rules matchup for the British Championship. Six rounds, 2 pinfalls, 2 submissions or a knockout will determine the winner. And these two men just feeling each other out. Just getting ready to go to battle. No one wants to rush into anything too quickly. Mendoza particularly wary of Jon Ritchie after what happened last time these two clashed. Ritchie now with a headlock. And Mikey Mendoza trying desperately to get back onto his feet. to regain a horizontal base. But Ritchie just cinching that move on there. And Mendoza really needs to get up in a hurry, or this one could be over quite quickly. Mendoza finally able to overpower Ritchie. Breaks the hold, hits him with a big clothesline. And a nice shoulder barge there sends Ritchie down. And Ritchie nearly went out to the outside there. Beautiful power slam. Here's a cover, 1, 2, and a 3 in the first round. In the very first round of this matchup, Mikey Mendoza, the challenger, has just scored a pinfall over the LDN champion, Jon Ritchie.
Ladies and gentlemen, first round, first ball of the contest to the challenger, Mike Mendoza.
Could this be a precursor of things to come? We could see a new LDN champion here tonight very quickly. Well, what a cracking start to the matchup here for Mike Mendoza, the challenger. The guy was absolutely inconsolable.
Seconds out, round 2.
Absolutely inconsolable at the end of his first shot at the championship, when he realised that he had lost his chance to win the belt. He was very, very despondent indeed. Well, hang on just a second, humongous now. Humongous, I don't mind him being at ringside, but he's got no business at all physically involving himself in the matchup. There's a man without a shred of honour indeed. Come on, referee, what's going on in the ring? Oh, a big headbutt. A big headbutt indeed. And humongous still just decimating Mikey Mendoza on the outside, and the referee absolutely oblivious. Shameful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has ordered Humongous to leave the ringside area immediately.
Well, rightly so. Why was he ever out here in the first place? That's what I'd like to know. Less arguing and get back to the dressing room. Come on, Mungus, get out of here. And even John Hall langed the boot in. Come on, ref, get some control. Get this one back into the middle of the ring right now. Mungus taking his sweet time going backstage. And the damage that has done to Mendoza is very evident here. Mendoza with a very quick pinfall in round 1. Ideally would have wanted to keep some of that momentum going as we went into round 2. But Humongous put paid to that. And Jon Ritchie in no hurry to get back into the ring now. As I said, Mendoza despondent at losing his first shot. He was very quickly granted a rematch by LDN officials. And since then, he has been very positive indeed. He has been training and working out very hard indeed for this contest. He has made it very clear just how much that championship means to him, how much he would love to wear the gold around his waist. And he is still, despite what has just happened, he is still one fall up in this contest against the champion, Jon Ritchie. And Ritchie just raking those eyes against the top rope. Again, the experienced veteran that he is, was able to shield that from the official with his own body. He is a shady individual indeed. And I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good Mendoza is. There's just no way he could overcome the onslaught from Humongous and Jon Ritchie. Oh, and a beautiful drop kick there from Ritchie. Mendoza lands at his feet. There's a cover. But it's just out of time. The bell rang there. And John Hall not too happy about that either. Well, Mendoza saved by the bell there at the end of round 2. But he leads a full to nothing. And we are seeing a good matchup here.
Seconds away.
Round 3.
Well, we need the seconds away. John Hall needs to get out of that ring. The bell has rung. We are into the 3rd round of 6. In this Spirit Rules matchup, Mikey Mendoza, the challenger, leading 1 full to nothing against Jon Ritchie. A second full from Mendoza and we would have a new champion. Spirit Rules, of course, derived from the famous Mount Evans rules, popularised in the days of the World of Sport and before that. Admiral Mount Evans, of course, founded the Mount Evans rules in the Houses of Parliament in an attempt to bring some sort of honour and integrity back to the sport and to stop chaps like Jon Ritchie and John Hall running roughshod over their fellow wrestlers. How successful they have been remains to be seen. But in round 3, your LDN champion Jon Ritchie is playing catch-up. Nice suplex, floats over into a cover. Maybe he'll very close to scoring an equalising full there. And you can see the look on his face. None too pleased about the way things turn out. Here's a roll-up from Mendoza, and we might have a new champ, but Jon Ritchie is in the bottom rope. And Jon Ritchie very fortunate indeed to land in the bottom rope there. And Mendoza unlucky again not to be the new LDN champion. And we will see former LDN champion Tex Benedict in action next week here on Capital TV against the man who has just been sent back to ringside, Humongous. So we haven't seen the last of Humongous. And it'll be great to see Tex Benedict in action again here on Capital TV. But who will be the LDN champion? Will it be Mendoza? Will it be Jon Ritchie? We will find out before the hour is up. Some open-handed strikes to the side. Oh, and there's a closed fist as well to the side of Mendoza. As I said, Mendoza almost suffered a concussion last time him and Ritchie clashed heads. And a beautiful roll-up there. Just getting the 1 count. And Ritchie really cinching in that headlock. And again, another nice roll-up from Mendoza. And Ritchie, to be quite honest with you, looks a little bit taken aback at the intensity being displayed by Mikey Mendoza. He is going for cover attempt after cover attempt, pinfall after pinfall. With the law of diminishing returns in full effect. Not quite sure what Ritchie's trying to achieve, but it is going to take a lot more than that to put down Mike Mendoza. Well, that's the end of round 3, fans. We are halfway through this one. And still the challenger, Mikey Mendoza, leads 1 full to nothing.
Seconds away, round 4.
As we go into the 4th round. And Jon Ritchie's got to start to be worrying here. He is not going to have an awful lot of time left to pull things back if he doesn't score a decision over Mike Mendoza quickly. Now, just a second. Jon Ritchie has got that belt. He should not have it during the matchup. Mendoza must have seen it coming. And a nice Nice move there from Mikey Mendoza. Just stretching the left leg over the body of the prone Jon Ritchie. Oh, and a low blow there from the LDN champion. And that's going to knock the stuffing out of you. I don't care how big you are. That low blow is going to slow anyone down. And now Jon Ritchie coming up top. Ritchie not famed for his high-flying acrobatics. Nonetheless, he hits a pretty decent missile dropkick on Mendoza. And his father on the outside of the ring, attempting to lead the crowd in some cheerleading. Mixed results there. Ritchie going up again. This time with a double leg Nelson, rolls through into a cover, and he gets it. And in round 4, Jon Ritchie, the LDN champion, scores an equalising fall.
Ladies and gentlemen, round 4, equalising fall to the champion, Jon Ritchie.
And just like that, Mikey Mendoza's advantage disappears. And that is going to shake the confidence of the youngster. I can guarantee you that.
This is London. This is London.
Seconds out, round 5.
This matchup is balanced at 1 fall apiece, and we are going now into round 5, the penultimate round. And I've got a feeling this one could come down to the wire. One more pinfall from either man, and this matchup will be over. But they are running out of time. There are just 2 falls remaining in the match. And you can see Jon Ritchie now. He is no longer taking this one lightly. He is really wrestling hard. Float over into a cover, just gets a 1. But Ritchie stays on Mendoza. Doesn't let him get back up to his feet. Couple of European uppercuts there. And Ritchie looking for a drop kick. Instead, he meets the rope. And that turnbuckle has just come off. The turnbuckle covering has come off. And I don't think the referee has spotted it. And we saw Ritchie tampering with that earlier in the contest. An atomic drop there from Mendoza. And now he plants Ritchie crotch first over the top turnbuckle, and Ritchie can't get down fast enough. And in round 5, this matchup has degenerated, and thankfully, the referee has at last seen the turnbuckle covering has come off. But Jon Ritchie has grabbed something. I think it's just his bottle of water. And John Hall up to his feet now. And that can't bode well for Mendoza. Well, Jon Ritchie faces getting counted out. Finally, on the count of 9, he makes his return to the ring. And a couple of punches to the midsection of Mikey Mendoza. Closed fist, naturally. And Mendoza getting his own back now. Whips Ritchie across the ring. And a drop kick of his own. And Ritchie was caught off guard with that one. You could see it in his face. You could see it in the eyes of Jon Ritchie. He was not expecting a move of that impact at this stage of the matchup from Mike Mendoza. And now Mendoza has Ritchie up and he plants him down. And just a 2 count. Mendoza has put many lesser men away with that maneuver. But in round 5 of a Spirit Rules Championship matchup, Jon Ritchie kicks out. Ritchie finally reaches the ropes. And it's 1 fall apiece. Everything to play for. The LDN Championship on the line. No one with the advantage falls-wise. And the bell rings. And that signifies the end of round 5. And so it's come down to this. This one is going to go all the way. The sixth and final round coming up. One fall apiece. One fall to the challenger, Mikey Mendoza. One fall to the notorious Jon Ritchie, the LDN champion. And this one could go either way. Mendoza knows this could be his last chance at the championship unless he pulls something special out of his hat. Ritchie's certainly not going to want to have come 5 rounds into this match and lose it in the 6th hurdle. Mendoza now really hyping the fans up here. And the bell has rung and we are in the 6th and final round. And Jon Ritchie is stalling. Jon Ritchie is stalling. He is in no hurry. He is in no hurry at all to lock up with Mendoza. And Mendoza is hungry. Whips off the ropes. Up and over and down on his back. And Jon Ritchie just staggering there. And I think he can sense how close he is to losing his belt. Another beautiful back body drop there from Mendoza, and John Hall is on the apron. And Mikey Mendoza shrugs him off. And a big power slam there from Mendoza, and that could be all. But Ritchie kicks out and John Hall's in the ring. And that power slam there from Mendoza should have been enough. And again, the turnbuckle covering comes down. John Hall claims to be fixing it. I'm not convinced. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't fix it at all. It was a setup. He released it as soon as Mendoza was coming, and now he plants him face first in the unprotected steel, the steel turnbuckle there. He just whacked him head first. Now distracting the referee as Jon Ritchie puts the finishing touches on Mendoza. Mendoza down in the middle of the ring. The referee counting to 10. Mendoza's not going anywhere. Mendoza not going anywhere.
I'd just like to say to all you so-called men that are booing us, you know, we are the men you wish to be. The real deal British champion, the notorious Mr. Jon Ritchie, and world of sport legend, Mr. John Hall. A father and son combination, never at the likes of this scene before. We rule the British wrestling scene, and we always will. Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match in the 6th and final round by knockout, and still LDN British champion, the notorious Mr. Jon Ritchie.
A knockout in round 6 thanks to the underhanded tactics of Mr. John Hall, removing the turnbuckle pad, exposing Mikey Mendoza's skull to the unprotected metal turnbuckle there. Solid steel, he rammed his head in a number of times. And Mendoza was out cold, he wasn't going anywhere. Jon Ritchie walking away from this week's edition of Capital TV, still your LDN British champion.
This is London.